The sky holds many mysteries, whether it be UFOs, mythical creatures, flashing lights, falling clouds, the list goes on. The sky has many secrets, and sometimes those moments are captured on camera, especially in the days of cell phone technology. Nowadays, most people have a camera on them at all times. The footage can be overwhelming, but very rarely will you hear about the mainstream media reporting on these types of things. Scientists have suggested that there are over 1 million undiscovered species lurking in the shadows of the Earth, while others insist that the number is a great deal higher. The world is full of unidentified life forms, unique and currently unclassified species that quite possibly could be traveling through space and time before they even reach our planet. Let's take a look at some of the most mysterious and unexplained footage of our skies ever captured. China recently reported a floating city appearing in the clouds. The sight spawned a host of theories, ranging from dimensional portals to a NASA hologram under what conspiracy theorists call the Blue Beam Project. China seems to have a monopoly on properties that float in the sky. For the second time in 5 months, on March 18th, a group of hovering buildings were reportedly seen and videotaped. Seen from land, it appears as though the buildings were looming in the fog, resembling some sort of ghost city over the sea. According to atmospheric scientists, this is the season for what's called the Fata Morgana, an optical illusion, which typically takes place as temperatures cool rapidly. In the summer, you may see the illusion of heat haze over a hot road, with phantom water shimmering over the surface. The apparition of a city or cliff in the sky is one of autumn's more common optical illusions in the United States, as well as China. I've seen a lot of unexplained footage, and I'm not always convinced that it's paranormal in nature. But every now and again, some videos really push us to our limit of comprehension. Like this video, for example, taken in England. We can see what appears to be a glowing orb of light moving in rapid speed through the sky. Just seconds later, it seemingly disappears right before this massive circular formation spreads across the sky, almost opening up like a hole or a portal of some kind. This video was recently taken in Argentina. While filming a thunderstorm from their car, this person caught something extremely strange in the sky. During this flash of lightning, we can clearly see something fall from this group of clouds. Some are speculating it to be a falling cloud, while others suspect it to be a UFO. Whatever it is, it has no real explanation. It's just one of the many unexplained sightings unexpectedly caught on camera.
Moving weird. You know, you see them sparkling lights in it. Never seen no like this in my life.
In this video, we can see a human-like figure apparently walking inside of a cloud. If you look inside of the lighter and brighter spot in this cloud, at first we can see a smaller dark figure move out of view on the right side of the cloud. But then clearly a larger human-like figure seems to follow and walk through the cloud. To this day, there is no explanation for what we're seeing here. Some clips don't offer a lot of information, and that may very well be to the strict lock some countries have on social media and social platforms. A lot of information like this is kept quiet and even prohibited at times. This clip was taken in California. It's not easy to make out the shape of this craft, but looking closely will reveal a strange set of blinking red lights around the craft. Filmed in London 2015, we can clearly see an oddly shaped object hovering in the sky. Zooming in will reveal an upside-down pyramid-shaped craft slowly rotating as it moves through the sky. This is one of the better shots I've seen of a UFO. This craft was spotted over several neighborhoods, and we even have another angle to view from an onlooker in one of the neighboring towns. Here's another clip we have multiple angles of. It's not clear what this is exactly, but it's certainly another one of the sky's mysterious anomalies. In this clip, the person taking the video didn't even realize what the camera caught until watching back the footage later. We can quickly see some sort of oddly shaped craft flying quickly overhead. Here's another clip where the person taking the video didn't even see what flew past them until watching the footage back. This object is moving extremely fast to be passing the airplane at this speed. Zooming in and slowing down the footage, we can clearly see a white object or craft of some kind. It's certainly not a plane or a bird or anything we know that can easily explain this sighting. Here is some footage taken by NASA satellites, showing sure signs of a UFO presence. In this clip, we can see numerous objects flying around space. In this video, a couple were driving when they noticed some sort of craft hovering slowly in the air. They quickly pull over and stop so that they can take video of it.
Acredito que eu tô vendo isso.
Tô dando zoom.
Tô filmando de celular. Caramba, na cara de pau, cara. Que isso? Caramba. Pega o teu celular aí, Priscila. Filma também. Caramba, não tô conseguindo aproximar muito com o meu celular, não.
The couple then follow the UFO for some time before they capture it landing inside of a deeply wooded nature preserve.
Um OVNI em Campo Grande. Agora são 10h52 da manhã, quarta-feira. Impressionante. Não dá pra ver direito na câmera do celular, mas é muito impressionante a olho nu.
A couple of friends were driving on the highway when they spotted something strange lurking inside of one of the clouds, apparently trying to hide or use the clouds for coverage. The friends quickly pull off to the side of the road and record the object. What happens next is absolutely incredible.
Véi do céu. Falei que eu tava vendo alguma coisa. Lá do teu lado, lá, pô. Nem 4 horas ainda, velho. Ainda terminei pra Lençóis e voltar pra Bauru ainda. Olha isso, velho. Olha isso. Ó, teu puta, você não tem que ver onde o Zul vai buscar isso aqui, velho. Você não tá vendo nada aí, filho. Você tem que ver aqui na máquina. Ô, Rafa, tá virando, velho. Puta que pariu, velho. Ah, essa porra dessa bateria tá acabando, bicho. Caralho, velho, tá descendo, porra. Pera aí, para de ser medroso, caramba. Puta que pariu, bicho. Tá tremendo pra caralho, bicho. Deve ser caralho, eu vou saber, pô.
In this footage taken from an airplane window over top a remote mountain range, you'll see something extremely strange lurking high on the mountaintops. In between this valley of mountains, we can see several lights blink inside of this low-lying cloud, just before something extremely large and creature-like rears its head above the cloud line. Two friends were sitting outside when they noticed an airplane acting strange while flying overhead in the sky. It seemed to glitch in and out of view and change form, they said. Then out of nowhere, it disappears from the sky completely. Many skeptics are saying this footage was manipulated, but it's certainly hard to tell. Pterodactyls were the largest creatures to ever obtain flight. Since the discovery of the pterodactyl in the 1700s, more than 150 other species of flying reptiles have been identified as pterosaurs. Some were small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, while others had 30-foot wingspans. They ruled the skies for over 100 million years until their extinction, along with the dinosaurs. But a pterosaur isn't actually a dinosaur at all. It's classified as a reptile. The name pterosaur means winged lizard. Despite their appearance, they're not at all related to birds. Stories of flying reptiles have been around for hundreds of years. There are ancient carvings that suggest these flying reptiles could have survived extinction and may very well live in small numbers in remote areas of the world. Numerous eyewitness accounts and videos have surfaced showing what looks to be pterosaurs. Some say the mythical dragon named in many cultures can be contributed to pterosaur sightings, also suggesting that they may not have all died out. In 1961, a New York businessman flying his private plane over the Hudson River said he was buzzed by a large flying creature that looked like a pterodactyl. Also in the early 1960s, a couple in California witnessed what they called a large bird with a wingspan of nearly 15 feet. They later described it to look like a pterodactyl. In 1976, two girls in Texas claimed to stand face to face with a giant bird that stood at least 5 feet tall. Investigators found 3-toed tracks that measured over 8 inches. That same year, 3 teachers claimed to see a huge flying creature resembling a pterodactyl, with a wingspan of 15 to 20 feet. One of the teachers commented that the wings looked bony, like a bat. In 1982, an ambulance driver named James Thompson saw a large bird flying low over the area. He said the wingspan was 5 to 6 feet and it had no feathers. It had a hump on the back of its head and no neck at all. After researching the creature, he determined it had to have been a pterosaur. In addition, numerous Native American cultures spoke of what they called the thunderbird. It's described as an enormous bird, according to many northwestern tribes, large enough to carry a killer whale in its talons as an eagle would carry a fish. It was even reported carrying children away. In 1977, a story ran on July 28th in the Boston Evening Globe. A mother claimed one of 2 giant birds tried to grab her 10-year-old child and fly away with him. She said the bird flew about 20 feet up in the air before dropping her son. The boy said he was punching and squeezing and doing anything he could do to get out of the bird's clutch. During the 1970s, numerous large bird reports were made all over the U.S. Some said its wingspan looked like that of an airplane. The sightings were so frequent, a reward was offered to anyone who could capture the winged monster. In the 1930s, there's an official confirmed case of a large bird taking a 50-pound, 5-year-old girl and taking it back to its nest, where they later found her dead, mutilated body. During the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy in 2012, one of the rarest phenomenons happened, and you may have witnessed it for yourself. This incredible image shows the sun surrounded by rainbow halos, a rare phenomenon called a sundog. It was taken by NASA's solar physicist David Hathaway in Huntsville, Alabama. He said the effect is generated by ice crystals in high and cold cirrus clouds, or during very cold weather by ice crystals called diamond dust, which drift in the air at low altitudes. It's an amazing sight to see, but obviously nothing paranormal, or so they say. When the people of Norway awoke to see a giant blue and white spiral of light in the dark sky above them, they were understandably shocked, and it wasn't a result of the northern lights, which they're familiar seeing in that region. Soon after, phone calls flooded the radio stations and air traffic control towers. Astronomers were baffled. Extraterrestrial enthusiasts filled the internet with theories, but when the explanation finally came in, it turned out to be a failed Russian nuclear-capable missile test launch. The White Sea, close to Norway's Arctic region, is Russia's standard missile testing site. This particular missile supposedly failed during the third stage. Eyewitnesses described a blue light that seemed to soar up from behind the mountains. Others said it stopped mid-air, then began to move in circles. Within seconds, a giant spiral had covered the entire sky. Then, a green-blue beam of light shot out from its center, lasting for about 10 or 12 minutes before disappearing completely. Many skeptics aren't convinced with the final determination and the official report of this being a failed missile launch. After an 8.1 magnitude earthquake struck off the southern coast of Mexico on September 7th, videos of fuzzy green smears in the night sky went viral online.
Allá, mira. ¿Estás viendo eso? Allá, ve el cielo.
Earthquake lights are a phenomenon so unusual it borderlines a myth. Mexico was hit recently by the strongest earthquake in decades, and damage was reported also in Mexico City, which is more than 400 miles away. Video footage published online shows the shaking as far as Mexico's capital, but also these strange lights in the skies, which were quickly labeled as earthquake lights on social networks and news sites. Earthquake lights, or EQLs, are a luminous phenomena typically observed during or after a strong earthquake. Some skeptics claim that EQLs don't even exist and are just misidentified natural phenomena. In a recent earthquake in China, videos show strange rainbow-colored lights and flashing lights 5 days before the earthquake happened. During the earthquake in Peru in 2016, strange flashes were also observed. In the case of the earthquake in Mexico, photos and videos show in real time the flashing lights happening before the earthquake. In my research, so-called hurricane lights flash during or afterwards. Some conspiracy theorists are contributing this disaster to deliberate acts manipulated by a secretive program called HAARP. This particular monster, people say, is of earth-ending destructive force, and it apparently appeared in the skies over Interstate 80. The picture, which was accidentally captured by Lake of Pines resident Margaret Porter using her mobile phone, this is in fact the second time in less than a year that a supernatural entity has been spotted over the skies of Nevada County, leading locals to speculate on the phenomena. The National Weather Service said that the phenomena was a result of a turbulent storm that pounded California over the past few days. The NWS went on to say they don't comment on spiritual matters. However, another group of people disagree. The Pastafarian religion said that this entity is the almighty flying spaghetti monster, who is their creator, which is said to be invisible, depicted as a floating mass of spaghetti noodles with a large meatball on either side of its body and two centrally located eye stalks. If you've never heard of this religion, it's absolutely a real thing. They call themselves Pastafarians, reportedly 1 million strong and primarily located in North America, Western Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. The Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster began in 2005 when Bobby Henderson, a recent physics graduate of the Oregon State University, sent a letter to the Kansas Board of Education, which was debating the inclusion of intelligent design theories in high school classes on evolution. The letter stated that the teaching about intelligent design must also include the alternative theory that the universe was created by a flying spaghetti monster. He posted his letter on the internet, where it attracted a great deal of popular attention. While a judge in Nebraska ruled that this belief system is not a religion, Pastafarians elsewhere have won the right to wear their religious headgear, which is a pasta strainer, and they've been allowed to wear this headgear in their photographs on their driver's licenses. This very unusual occurrence is being explained as a crown flash, but not everybody's convinced, and the final conclusion is nothing more than a hypothesis, so there's no telling what this is for sure. Crown flashes, also called jumping sundogs, are streamers of light around storm clouds that appear to dance and flash, sometimes quite rapidly. It's said that they're caused by long ice crystals above the cloud that align themselves with the cloud's electric field. If you see them from the right angle, they bend or refract the sunlight toward you, causing the glow. When lightning erupts from the cloud to the ground or inside the cloud, the electric field changes radically, realigning the ice crystals. When this happens, they suddenly bend sunlight in a different direction, causing the glow to shift. The first scientific description of a crown flash appears to be in the Journal Monthly Weather Review in 1885, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. Also mentioned in Nature in 1971, and in a letter to Nature slightly earlier in the same year. Crown flashes are a rarely observed weather phenomenon. In the recent years, numerous videos have been circulating on the internet of these strange lights in the skies, reportedly all over the world. In most cases, these strange lights are contributed to arcing from power plant explosions, but not all of them. This video, for example, was not caused by any electrical problem or power plant related issues, and to this day is an unexplained phenomenon. The video was taken this year in 2020 by a Tampa, Florida resident. This strange flashing continued for nearly 30 minutes before abruptly stopping. The lights change colors and flash randomly. There really is no legitimate explanation for this type of footage. The next video was taken in April of 2020 in Ecuador. Hundreds of locals watched as these strange flashes of light filled the night sky just over the horizon. Then only moments later, the entire town was surrounding this meteor-like object that fell from the sky. It was still hot when this video was taken, and we can see some steam coming from the object. Some of the townspeople were touching it, perhaps hoping to gain some sort of outer limits superpowers. This next video was taken in Colombia by numerous onlookers in completely different neighborhoods.
Mire, está botando vaina, man.
During a storm, this huge glowing light hovered in the air for several moments. There's an oddly shaped square-like cloud apparently floating in front of the glowing light. And if you look closely, you'll notice another orb of light floating underneath. And then out of nowhere, it simply vanishes into the night sky. January 30th, 2020, this video was taken in Brazil. It's nothing like anything I've ever seen before. It's hard to tell if this is multiple crafts beside each other in a line or one enormous craft with pulsating lights. There's not much information offered for this sighting, but it's certainly one of the more intriguing UFO videos I've seen recently.
Não sei ver.
Que coisa louca!
Fabuloso, maluco! 9 horas em ponto.
9 horas da noite, dia 30 do...
It's an amazing world out there, and you never know what we'll find, or how it might find you. Until next time, I'm Jack Helms. Thanks for joining me on our journey to find the world's most greatest mysteries in the sky.